Hi everyone, I'm Shweta from Fox Publishing in conversation with Mr. Siddharth Rajsekar. Let me introduce him. Mr. Siddharth Rajsekar is one of India's leading digital coaches. He has recently launched his book, You Can Coach, with an aim to redefine the education system with a breed of teachers, mentors, and coaches who will be the implementers. The book has been Amazon's bestseller and broken many records ever since it has been launched. He is the founder of the Internet Lifestyle Hub, one of the world's largest communities for coaches, trainers, teachers, and experts. Welcome, Siddharth.
Thank you, Shweta. Great to be here. Yeah.
So, Siddharth, tell us about your book, You Can Coach. What is it about?
Yeah, so You Can Coach is a book that has taken me a good 10 years of trying and testing different kinds of strategies to distill it down into a 648-page book, with the primary goal and intention to redefine the education system, because our current education system is built or was built in the industrial era to create more workers. It was introduced by the Britishers, and over time things have changed, times have changed, and especially after COVID, we have seen we're able to see the cracks in the education system where people need to learn things fast and they need to learn things and adapt fast. So even though people go through a full-fledged 12-year journey in the education system, or even more than that, they end up learning once again after they start and getting into the workforce. So for me, my background is that I don't come from the formal education system. I failed my 12th. Even till today, I'm not a graduate. I went into the music industry. From music industry, I went into the mobile industry, grew my way up the corporate ladder, set up an agency, ran it for 8 years, and then I got into digital coaching, and now I have one of India's the largest communities of trainers and coaches with over 13,000 members. And all of this, I've been able to achieve some of these milestones because I learned from mentors who came into my life at the right time, mentors who are implementers. So I believe that the only way we can transform our education system right now and to make it more sustainable into the future is by building a new breed of teachers who understand technology and also understand how to teach. It is not about what you teach, it's about the way you teach it. And that's what I cover inside the book. You Can Coach is not just about the basic, teaching methodologies. It's about how you can apply technology and tools. And there are at least 20 plus different frameworks that I share in the book where anybody can take their knowledge and make that into a business model for themselves. So that's what it is, Shweta.
Okay. Siddharth, I just want to know, what is the problem with today's new education system?
So the problem is, for example, Google Maps. I'll give you an analogy. Google Maps is a beautiful tool that helps us to go from point A to point B. Now, if you look at the formal education system, it's like memorizing a map. I'm sitting in Chennai right now, and if you ask me to memorize the entire map of Chennai, that is one approach where I know exactly what is there in which area. And then when it's recalled, I can go and then find and go to that particular place. Formal education system is based on the foundation of volume of information and memorization. But digital coaching, what I'm actually propagating in the book, another thing, it is the shortest path to going to a particular goal. It is about simplification and solving a problem. And there are only 6 problems that people face in the world. Either it's a business problem or a career problem or a health problem or a money problem or a relationship problem or a creativity problem. Anything can be fit into these one of these 6 categories. Now, once you have identified what problem you want to solve, and then once you're able to design a curriculum or a coaching methodology that can help people solve that problem in the most efficient way, that's the example of Google Maps, going from point A to point B with the path of least resistance. So the problem with the current education system is they are making students learn and bring it out in the exams, and you do not know what even people are going to be, what mood is there in that student when they're giving the exam. Okay. But today it is not about memorization. You can search for anything on Google and get any information. There's a lot of information out there. So the only way we can solve the problem is by creating more simplified solutions to every problem that is there in the world. And for that, we need coaches, and we need coaches who are able to teach in a particular format and a style to solve that particular problem for the students. And that's the problem that the book is trying to solve. Yeah.
Right. Okay, what are the important quality or traits of a digital coach?
That's a good question. See, in the formal education system, the traits of a good teacher will be the same as the traits even for a digital coach. But if you normally look at it, even in school, when I was in school, there were maybe 10, 15 teachers, but I love to learn from one or two of them. It is not about what they were teaching, but how they were teaching it, how they were making it more engaging. So now when we are moving into a world where everything is digital, like even this, the Delhi Book Fair is also completely now become into an online trade show. It's like completely virtual, and I was looking into all the rooms and stuff. So the first thing is, the teachers of today's day and age, they need to adapt to digital, which means that they need to be comfortable looking into a camera and speaking, as compared to the live physical kind of trainings. Second trait of a good teacher is somebody who's able to get his students to take action and inspire them to take action. Some of you may remember, if you're watching this, the teachers that were not so inspiring were the ones who just taught and left. They were just there to do their job. But the better teachers were the ones who are able to inspire the students to go and do something, like go and do some exercise. So there has to be some kind of interaction. So even when it comes to digital, whenever I do webinars and many of my students, I tell them to make it as interactive as possible. Not like a one-way teaching, okay, or not one-way traffic. That's the second quality. Third one is, a great teacher for a digital age, they also need to be great at marketing. Because most teachers, they don't know how to sell their knowledge. They may be working under an institution, that's fine. But now when you look at digital coaches, where there's a boom in the e-learning space, like we have companies like Byju's, White Hat Junior, all of them are valued at so many multiple billions of dollars, because the e-learning industry is going to become a $325 billion industry by 2025. And while this is growing, they need these teachers, the new age teachers, are the ones who need to equip their marketing skills also. They need to learn how to sell their products. Okay. And the fourth skill for being a successful teacher in a digital age is understanding systems and tools, digital systems and tools. Funnels, lead generation, copywriting is a skill. Building tribes is also a skill. And also generating sales through webinars is also a very important skill. So once a teacher is able to taken all these qualities and improve their qualities on these aspects that I mentioned over here, then they will be able to deliver a larger impact to larger audiences with the knowledge that they have. And again, you can do one-to-one coaching, you can do group coaching, you can do courses, there is consulting. There are so many different ways that one can teach their information and knowledge depending on the target market and so on. So those are the traits, Shweta. Yeah.
Okay, so like how you said, teachers should know how to market themselves. Like, can you just elaborate that, like how to market ourselves as digital coaches?
I'll elaborate on that. Marketing starts from the point of you learning how to put content out there. So the first part of marketing is putting out free content on social media. It could be short videos. It could be longer 10-minute, 15-minute videos on, say, YouTube videos, podcasting. Now, Instagram, there's Reels, there's Facebook, building Facebook groups. So putting out valuable pieces of content is the first part of marketing. Now, all of that valuable pieces of content are going to act as digital assets. They will work for the teacher even while they're sleeping. I have more than 300 plus videos on my YouTube channel, and every day, every minute, I'm generating leads through that. Okay, people are watching the video, they're clicking on my website, they're giving their name and their email ID, and they're getting into my database. So the second part of the process is to get the right students into your database email list. Okay, so first is exposure. Second is nurture. Once they come to email list, then you start to nurture them. And once they come into my email list, what I do is I then invite them to my webinar. I do every week I do a webinar, 2-hour webinar, 90 minutes webinar, where I educate live, I answer questions, I engage with the audience, I set the expectations, and then I offer my product. I sell my product over there in the webinar. So that is the process of marketing: content marketing, email nurturing, webinar selling, and after you have sold the product, how you can continue serving them and building community. So all of this is a part of the marketing process. Yeah.
How does one find the topic? What should we go for? Like as a teacher, how do you find that niche?
So like I mentioned earlier, the niche is a problem that you want to solve. It is not about going out there and say, okay, I have so many years of experience in this subject and let me teach that. No one cares about your experience. They only care about what problem you can solve with the experience that you have. Okay. So you pick one of the 6 problems. Step 1 is you pick the macro niche, whether it's a business problem or a career problem or a health problem, money problem, relationship problem, or a creativity problem. Let's say, for example, you are a yoga expert. Okay. So you're falling under the health category. Now, yoga is a subcategory under health, but you can go even more narrower than that. So one option is I can say, hi, I'm Siddharth. I'm a health expert. That's too wide. It's like being like a general practitioner of medicine. Okay. It's like, it's not specific. Better than that, I can say, I'm Siddharth. I'm a yoga expert and I can help you lose weight. Okay. So that is one more way. The better thing to do is to go even more narrower. Is if I say I'm Siddharth Rajsekar, I'm a post-pregnancy weight loss specialist, and I help mothers get back into shape using the power of yoga. Now that is what I call as a micro niche and micro market positioning. When the micro niche and micro market positioning is done, then there's a potency. It's like a difference between a general practitioner of medicine and a neurosurgeon. Neurosurgeon makes like 50, 100 times more money than a general practitioner because he's a specialist. So when you think in terms of specialization, in terms of topic and target market, that's how you approach digital coaching. Because if you're trying to serve everybody, you're serving nobody.
Right. Okay. Okay, I want to know, how to convert the knowledge to sustainable business. Like, how do we do that?
Yeah. See, the sustainability of this business model, of the knowledge business model, it comes when you're able to create a funnel out of your business. You have to drive people through a funnel. So funnels are nothing but filters. Okay, filters where you can filter students from one level to the next level to the next level. Now, there are some coaches and teachers who prefer to do things, who prefer to work under an organization. So maybe you may be a teacher and you're working under an institution. Now that's a different thing because you're taken care of by the institution. But if you're going to be starting independently your own e-learning business or an online coaching business or digital coaching business, you have to engineer a 4-stage funnel. There are 4 stages. The first stage is the lead magnet stage. So like you do a free webinar, you capture the lead, invite them to your free webinar. That's a free part of the funnel. Then you need to offer them a basic level conceptual course. So coming back to the yoga example, the yoga expert helping mothers lose weight after pregnancy can create a basic conceptual course talking about asanas, pranayama, lifestyle habits, food habits for the mother, all of that stuff, where it's a pre-recorded course, which is very easy on the pocket. Like people should be, anything under 10,000 rupees is a good minimum viable product or a course. That's the first product that you're going to offer. Then you can get them into premium level coaching. Okay, you can charge maybe 20,000, 30,000 rupees for 12 sessions, 13 sessions, where you're going to do one-to-one coaching with one-to-one health. Like you have many people who are personal trainers, like that. You can be a personal yoga trainer for moms, or you can do group coaching where you work with batches of people live and you actually help mothers get back into shape after pregnancy. And if you want, you can have a higher level after that also. You can do consulting and things like that. So I have many business consultants also in my community who charge 5 lakhs, 10 lakh rupees per year for them to handhold their clients for a longer period of time. So you need to design a funnel comprising of 4 stages: a lead magnet stage, a tripwire stage where there's a minimum viable product, then a core product, where you're giving the implementation of the knowledge. And then you need to have a high ticket, products, which are more like a profit maximizer. That's how you create a sustainable business. Because if you're going to be getting even one client or one student that's going to be paying you a big ticket value for your knowledge, you can use a portion of that money to generate more leads on the top. That's how you make it sustainable. And that's why it's important for every coach and teacher to understand the concept of funnels and funnel-based marketing, so that they can make it more sustainable and not just depend on selling like one course or one product here and there. I hope that makes sense, Shweta. Yeah.
question as a customer. Like if I want to approach any digital coach, how do I choose who is the best? Like, what will make you stand out of all the, because like the all the industry growing with the digital coaching and stuff.
Yes,
And how do
true.
I choose my digital coach?
Very good question. Do not choose a coach based on how many likes and followers and subscribers that they have, because it's very easy for people to become influencers these days purely based on their own charisma and their own marketing. They may be good at whatever they're doing. The actual thing you need to look for is one, what do they stand for? What is their value system of the mentor? Two is, how many success stories are they generating? How many of their students are getting results? That is the success of a good mentor. There are many people who may be good communicators, but they may not be good teachers. They may not be able to inspire their students to take action. They may just be good entertainers, if you look at it that way. It's like infotainment. So when you pick a mentor based on the value system. Or in fact, before that is, pick a mentor based on what is the topic you want to learn, what skill you want to learn. Two is, what is their value system? Three is, have they been able to help a lot of other people get results? Like on my YouTube channel, at this point, I have more than 130 documented case studies of people who have made over 3 lakhs in total revenues following my system. And I've interviewed them, 15, 20 interviews. And that is a very important part of my process, because that is helping me build social proof and awareness. So when people are looking for the subject that I'm teaching, if they search for anything around that topic, they find me, and I become the automatic first preference for them because of the case studies that have been generated. So that's the answer to the question, Shweta. Yeah.
Okay. So like Siddharth, at what point of time in your life you thought, I should do this?
It was after a lot of years of struggle. I dropped out of college when I was 18 years old. And then I went to the music industry. And then I went into the ringtone industry. And after I set up my own business in 2011, I set up my business along with my business partner. I ran a digital marketing agency for 6 years. I wanted to start my own business so that I can be my own boss. But by the end of year number 6, I had 35 bosses. All my clients were my bosses. And I did not have freedom. I did not have, and after paying my teams, tools, taxes, infrastructure costs, as an entrepreneur, I was not able to take much money back home for myself for personal use. So that's when I realized that I needed to shift some things. And I moved away from a services-based business into a product-based business. So what got me into this journey was a point where I did not have freedom. And I found a mentor who helped me with the system. I followed his system. And then from 2018 till now, I've been able to build this community called the Internet Lifestyle Hub. And currently we are over touching close to 14,000 paid members in the community. We're the fastest growing community for coaches, trainers. And even the book You Can Coach, I wrote it after 3 years of actually working with students. I've done more than 500, 600 one-to-ones with my students. And based on what feedback I was getting with them, based on all the different things I've been testing and trying, working with many big influencers, the essence of all of that knowledge has been distilled into the book You Can Coach. So I didn't write the book as a marketing tool. I wrote the book after building a multi-million-dollar business. Yeah.
So what made you write a book? Like when you thought that, I should become a writer and, convey my readers, like, what all skills and as a digital coach,
yes,
what all they should know about?
The reason I wrote it is because I already had many courses, video courses up, more than 25, 30 courses are there on my platform. So I wanted to create a textbook for my existing students. So I started to write the first chapter, second chapter. I put the basic framework of 9 chapters. And once I wrote all of my basic, concepts, I put that in. Then I thought, why not I include other industry experts inside the book? So I got an opportunity to interview Jack Canfield, who's the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul and Success Principles, publishing phenomenon of the decade. He's like one of the best-selling authors in the world. So I got to interview him. I got to interview Dr. John D. Martini, Blair Singer. So with these 3 legends coming into the book, many others wanted to come into the book. So I interviewed some of the best coaches in India and abroad. And we have more than 22 interviews in this book. So what started off as a textbook for my own community ended up becoming like a textbook for the industry, I should say. I wanted to create a textbook for my own members, but now it's become many people say that it's like a Bible for coaching. But yeah, because I share many different views, not just my views, but we have 22 different perspectives to the game. And that's what makes it really magical. Yeah.
Exactly. So, Siddharth, like there are 22 interviews in this book. So, like, can you explain further who all have you interviewed in this book?
Yeah. So we have some of the legends, like I already mentioned, Jack Canfield, Blair Singer, Dr. John DeMartini. Some of our top coaches in India, like Rajiv Talreja, who's a business coach. Suren, the founder of Success Gyan, he's also there in the book. We have all the Success Gyan Academy speakers who are part of it. And even I formed an alliance with all the digital masters in India, top digital marketers in India. We call ourselves the Digital Masters Alliance. So I have even them. So like Abhi Arya, we have Kulwant Nagi, we have Deepak Kanakaraju, Saurav Jain. And all of these are, they're pretty big influencers in India in the online digital space. So I got to get their understanding and their perspectives on how they are coaching and training people in the digital world. And that's how the interviews came together. Yeah.
Siddharth, like how this book, You Can Coach, can really help an average person?
So an average person, unless they have an inclination towards teaching, this book will not help. This book will help those who want to take their knowledge and expertise and make that into a business, like all the steps. So the first step, the book is divided into 3 parts. The first part is about planning. Second part is about, the setup, the launch. And the third part is about the growth. How do you plan, launch, and grow a digital coaching business to 6 figures a month? When I say 6 figures, you can do 6 figures in Indian rupees or even US dollars. Okay, I've achieved both. So the first part is the planning. I talk about how do you find your niche, how do you design your curriculum, and how do you plan your budgeting for a knowledge business. Most people don't even get into that aspect. In the launching part, I talk about how do you design your courses and curriculums, and how do you put your content out there, and how do you start attracting the leads that are coming in the launch phase. And in the growth phase, I talk about how do you sell your knowledge, because there are 27 buying triggers that I cover in one of the chapters on the sales part. There are 27 triggers that make people buy products. I've done a research on that, and that's there in that. And then I talk about how do you sell, how do you maximize your profits, and how do you build communities. So for me, I tell my students, don't just sell products, build communities. Your relationship with your customers have to begin at the point of sale. It cannot end at the point of sale. So how can it help an average person? Is first of all, anybody can coach. That's why the title of the book is You Can Coach. I have people in my community who are 19-year-old, 16-year-old, 8-year-olds who are also doing this and who are launching their own programs. And also 69-year-olds, 70-year-olds also. We have the entire spectrum of age group. So if you have the intention to take your expertise and make it into a profitable business, I've laid out all the steps, step by step in 9 different chapters. Yeah.
Okay. So Siddharth, like tell me more about your communities, like, how do they function?
So right now we are a pretty large community. We have close to 14,000 members. So we have our own dedicated social network of our own. We have a private network, like our Facebook is a network. So we have a lot of awesome engagement and interaction that happens within that network. So we have all kinds of experts who are there in this community. We have daily meetups, weekly masterminds. I do every Thursday, we do masterminds for our members. And since they already have access to our learning management system, they'll be also watching different courses. So the way that it has been set up is there's a lot of fun, engagement, and activity that's happening in the community. And I've also launched my own online store merchandise. So we have our own t-shirts, mugs, caps. I launched a board game also recently along the lines of the book. So You Can Coach, Find Your Niche, the first chapter. That first chapter has been made into a board game now for kids to play with their parents. So like this, we have a lot of exciting things going on in the community, which is all with the single focus to build the next breed of teachers. And it's fun. For me also, the growth that has happened in the last 3 years is something that I did not plan, especially after pandemic. This became the the only option for many people who lost their jobs, who lost their businesses, who are not able to adapt to the changing times. I mean, the only way for them to sustain their families was to start a digital coaching business with their own expertise. And I'm truly proud to say that we have a lot of success stories. Normal people who not had any experience in this, being able to create 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakhs per month within a span of 3 to 6 months. Those success stories are really inspiring. It's a lot of them are there on my YouTube channel. Yeah. So that's how the community has grown, Shweta. Yes.
That's great. So, so just want to know, like, who are the people who have influenced you in your life, and whom you take as your guru.
Yes. I have many of them. I have many mentors in my life. The first mentor that helped me find my voice as a teacher was Blair Singer. He helped me understand the difference between a teacher and a leader. That's the difference. Teacher just teaches. Leader transforms students. Okay. One is about education. One is about transformation. So I learned about transformation. I went through a lot of training programs myself and learned techniques on how to teach the best way. Accelerated learning techniques and accelerated teaching techniques. So I learned this from my mentor, Blair Singer. He's the first mentor of mine. Then I learned how to build ecosystems from my mentor, Vic Strisius. He's from the US. And I have another mentor named Sam Owens. He's from New Zealand. So he has also taught me a lot about how do you structure systems to scale. And especially when it comes to advertising and marketing and stuff, I learned a lot of concepts from these three people. So besides that, yeah, one of my all-time favorites is Dr. John DeMartini, Jack Canfield. I've also learned from Dr. Ivan Meisner, the founder of BNI, and Brian Tracy as well. So many of these legends have been influencers. And I have to mention T. Harv Eker and Robert Kiyosaki. All these names have had a big influence on me. Yeah.
Okay. So like you being a very busy person, this is just a personal question. Like you being a very professionally busy person.
Yes.
Like how do you balance your work and personal life?
Yeah, for me, less is more. I have very less engagements for myself on a day-to-day basis. My only priority is my community. So as much as possible, I work a 4-day work week. So I only work for 4 days in a week. 3 days I do not work. So Monday, Tuesday, I have all my meetings, webinars, and Wednesday I do not work. Thursday, Friday, also have all my meetings and webinars. And then Saturday and Sunday, I try to keep my calendar as free as possible. Because once there is a lot of space, I'm able to think about things and create the vision for the community. So the formula for this kind of a lifestyle is a dad formula. I'm a dad of 2 boys. So DAD stands for, number one is I like to delegate a lot of things. The first thing is I like to delete things that are not aligning with my values. So I've said no to a lot of things, like a lot of even like these kind of events. I get, this is the Delhi book fairs, and that's why I'm here. But normally I get invited to multiple events and I say no to pretty much 99% of things, because for me, my aspiration is not just to be more visible everywhere. I mean, my aspiration is to really add value to the community and improve the system that's been created. So I delete a lot of appointments and I delete a lot of tasks that are removing my time, and that's continuous process. A stands for automation. I automate a lot of my business. I have, in fact, I have a course on automation where there are at least 200,000 automation tasks that are done, automatically every single month based on all the tools and technology that I'm using. So I think that is one area which is my superpower. I can help automate businesses, and I've implemented that into my own business. And third D is delegation. So deletion, automation, and delegation. I've delegated pretty much all the core tasks of mine except content ideation and creation. Like that is my baby. I'm the knowledge, I need to work on my own research and knowledge. So I spend a lot of time researching, creating content, and teaching people through webinars. Everything else has been delegated with teams. So the dad formula is working for me. Yeah.
Okay. So Siddharth, any piece of advice for the digital coaches or the people who want to pursue something like this?
Yes. The advice is, I'll give it in 2 parts. The first part is more of on a personal level. Like if you feel that your life is not really aligned to your bigger mission. Let's say you're somebody who's working hard, but you're still not feeling fulfilled in your life. The best career to be in isn't teaching, because it's so fulfilling to help others. Okay, this is and so that's the first point. But for you to be good at this, there's a beautiful quote by Jim Rohn. He says, to have more than you got, you have to become more than you are. You can't be the same person and expect miracles happening in your life. So you need to be open and coachable yourself. So only if you're a good student, you can be a good teacher. Okay, so that's the second part. And the other thing is, my bigger vision of this, what I'm doing is, if I can inspire 1 million people become digital coaches, like if I can inspire you to go out there and build your own community. Now, I've built a community of 14,000 people in the last 3 years. Now, if you're going to be spending your focus, time, and energy in building your own community of, let's say, 10,000 people over the next 3 years, and let's say 1 million of us do that, this will shift the society completely in a positive way. Like, we will transform the education system, we will transform the employment system. People will be living more aligned lives. And because digital coaches are not just knowledge givers, we are problem solvers. And when you're solving all the problems that people are facing in the world, it'll make the world a much better place. So even though You Can Coach the book is titled and it is catered for existing coaches or experts and teachers, let me tell you this: anyone can coach, and everybody has something to give to somebody else. So if you look at this as a form of service that you can do to the world with your talents, that's the best thing that you can do if you're, as we are alive on this planet. That's my message to you. Yeah.
So Siddharth, as a writer, as a writer of this book, You Can Coach, any piece of advice for our upcoming writers or young writers?
Yes.
How to approach a book, how to approach writing?
Honestly, I never thought I would write a book. It just happened. But my advice to all of you who are aspiring writers is, before you go out and write something, see if you can make the milk boil a little more. What I mean by that is, see, I had the knowledge even 3 years ago, but I had to put that knowledge into action for a long time. And I let the milk boil until I was able to formulate the concepts that has come out in this book. So before you think about writing a book, it's very easy to write a book these days. Honestly, you can transcribe it, you can get others to do things for you, you can have ghost writers, you can do multiple things. But if you want to deliver a true impact in the world with your book, start taking action, start implementing that knowledge, start building communities, start getting feedback from your audience, and let that be formulated in the form of a book. So let the milk boil a little longer. Do not prematurely just go and put something out there because it's easy to launch, because then you'll be able to make a difference. Yeah.
Okay. So Siddharth, with this book, as a reader, what should I go for? What am I expecting? If I'm a new reader, what should I expect out of this book?
So it's a pretty big book. So take it at your own pace. I would suggest that you complete 1 chapter per day. Give yourself 10 days to finish all the core chapters, and give yourself another 10 days to finish all the interviews. So give yourself a 20-day time frame. So how to read the book, if you ask me, 1 chapter per day. And as you complete each chapter, I give a lot of concepts. So reflect on those points and use it like a workbook to do the work, because it's a very sequential way that I've structured the knowledge. So as you complete all the steps, I think by the time you are in day number 9 or day number 10, you'll have clarity on your topic. You'll have clarity in your positioning. You'll have clarity in your marketing plan. You'll have clarity in how to scale it also. And the only thing you got to do after that is take action. You got to put yourself out there and start selling your knowledge. Yeah.
So Siddharth, how do you keep up, mind body balance, with all the schedules and this, everything? I'm pretty sure it's all very hectic. So
yeah.
How do you tackle all that?
So thanks to COVID, there's not much travel these days, but for that, like I mentioned earlier on, I like to work a 4-day work week. I drink a lot of water, basic stuff, basic health regimen that I've been following. And I've been following, my own health routine for more than 10 to 15 years. Okay. So some of you may not be able to make this out, but I'm I'm 38. I'm a father of 2 boys. Okay, so my first one is like close to 10 years old. He's 9 years old now. So health, family, all of this has been systemized and put into routine, and I'm just conscious and aware of that on a daily basis. And other thing is the mindset is the most powerful thing. So I listen to this audio by Earl Nightingale every single day. It's called The Strangest Secret in the World. If you have a chance, please listen to it. It's on YouTube. Just search for Strangest Secret, Earl Nightingale. If you can listen to that every day for next 30 days, you'll see some massive changes happen in your life. Like I've seen that happen. He's taken the essence of Napoleon Hill's teaching and put that into a 30-minute audio. So that keeps the mindset strong. If the mindset is strong, your emotions will be in control. When your emotions are in control, your health will be also in control. And that's what's been working for me, Shweta. Yeah.
Is there any upcoming books? Like, are you writing anything, or you wish to write anything in future?
Yeah, not immediately, but probably next year I will be working on the next title. Not thought about it, but what I'm launching now, or the next project is the game. So I've launched a board game. I'm working on the second board game now, and these board games are ideas from the book. So the first board game is on how to find your niche, following a 5P methodology. Your passion should solve a problem, targeting a persona that should be potential in the market. Then only then you can get paid for it. This 5P has been made into a board game, which I've launched. Next board game will be around on money management, how to make, manage, and multiply money. And so that's my next project. So I'm working on that, and the next book will probably come next year. Yeah.
Thank you, Siddharth. And like anything else you like to you wish to share with us, the book or regarding the digital coaching field?
Yeah, I just have one quote by Jim Rohn, one of my favorite leaders. He says, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. So if you're always having the mindset of a lifelong learner, there's no stopping you. You can go to whatever heights that you want. Yeah.
So Siddharth, like we had a great session. Hope our audience this was useful to them.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for the book. It's like breaking all the records. And despite being a thick book, people are like buying it and following it. So thanks to you, and
You're
thanks
welcome.
for publishing with us.
Thank
And
you.
Any last words to our audience?
Yeah, I want to thank the audience for being here and tuning into this. I want to thank Clever Fox Publishing for making this a success. Without you guys, it wouldn't have happened. And I want to thank the Delhi Book Fair for organizing such an amazing event to bring all the readers and leaders. Leaders are readers. All the leaders and readers together on this virtual platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Siddharth, and thank you everyone for joining us. Take care. All the best for your book, Siddharth.
You're welcome.